Nevertheless, I'm here to tell you a story. I'm sure that's what you came for. You like stories, I hope? Well, I'm already a winner then. When I'm dealing with little kids, like kindergarten, grade 1, I used to tell them some funny stories. Native stories, like any other story from different nations, were told to amuse people. They're funny stories. Each tribe or each nation had their trickster. It's usually a sort of like, we don't know if it's a human or a spirit, you know, mixture. Maybe even a medicine man. And they had different names for these tricksters. In my language, we call them Wisakitsa. Among the Sioux, he was Iktombi, which means in their language spider. On the west coast here, the raven. Among some of the western tribes, prairies, there was coyote. Ojibwe was Nanamush. Far to the east, Gluaskabe. He was known by many names, but he was the same person, you know. So a lot of these stories were sent to amuse people. To tell about this trickster who was always getting himself in trouble by doing things, silly things. And he could speak to all the animals, speak all the different languages, the different tribes. But when I have a bigger group like this, I go to a little bit more of an education thing because, well, you know, you're a little older now, and I'm sure you like amusing stories too. And if we have time, I might share one with you. But a lot of the stories, because native people did not have a written language, other than pictographs you might see on the sides of teepees or on rocks. They didn't have an alphabet like we have today. So most or all of their traditions, their teachings, and their beliefs, the culture was passed on through the word of mouth. So when he told a story, like the story I'm about to share with you, there's a lesson in it. Now, the storyteller seldom tells what that lesson is because it's left to the listener to determine what that lesson is. So I'll leave that up to you. And if you want to discuss it later, I'm willing to discuss my interpretation of what it means. But before I tell a story, I always like to go through a little tradition that the Abenaki people, another Algonquin-speaking people that live far beyond the Great Lakes near the Atlantic coast. They had a tradition before they told a story in a formal sense. And that was to sing a song first. And the reason they did that is because they believed that there was a story spirit. And that story spirit traveled around across the skies and through the mountains and all over the land. And he carried all the stories. So the storyteller had to ask that story spirit to come, to bring those stories. They may be told. And that's why they sang the song. And I think it's a good tradition. So I honor the Abenaki by doing that. But before I do that, I have to make a little smoke. Smoke is very important among native people. They believed that when they made smoke, like in a council, whether it be a trading council or meeting another tribe of people, an annual celebration, before going to war, they would make some smoke. They prayed to the Creator. And the smoke, they said, carried their prayers, their thoughts to the Creator, to the spirit world. And if you notice, when I light this light, the smoke, it's true. The smoke. And there it is. Now what happens to the smoke? You can see it. You can see it there. But you can't hold it like I can hold an object. And eventually, it disappears. It's gone to the spirit world. And so anything we say or we share or we pray, it's carried to the Creator. And that's why smoke was important. The Abenaki say that the story spirit is a very shy spirit. And there's something you must do for me while I sing this short song. I ask you to close your eyes, be quiet. Would you do that for me? Very good. Well, I sang an Abenaki song, so I think I'll share an Abenaki story with you. Some of you might have heard it before. They say a long time ago, after the Creator had made the earth and all the mountains and the lakes and the rivers and all the animals, all the things that you see in human beings, He sent Gluaskabe to the earth. Now, Gluaskabe's job was to teach the animals and the people how to survive upon the earth, because they were new. People said it was Gluaskabe that taught the people how to farm and to raise corn and where to find medicine in the woods. Taught the animals where to find shelter, what good food to eat, how to communicate with one another. This was the great job of Gluaskabe, the Creator's helper. And he said when Gluaskabe retired, he said he went to a lake, an island out there in the middle of a huge lake. They say that lake was so big that when you stood upon its shores, you could not see the opposite shore. And out there in the middle of that lake was an island. That's where Gluaskabe went to retire. They say that island was always shrouded in a mist. Some said it was the smoke from Gluaskabe's pipe that surrounded the island. Nobody knew exactly where that island was, but it was out there somewhere, he said. People said that if anybody could make that journey to that island and see Gluaskabe, he had a wish. Tell Gluaskabe what that wish was. It would come true. Wow. Well, it happened. There were 4 warrior brothers. They came from different villages, but they were all in the same village. They heard about this island and Gluaskabe and about the wish. Because each one of them had a wish that they wanted very much to come true. And they talked among themselves and they said, you know, we should make a journey. We should make a journey and find that island and find Gluaskabe. Tell them what our wish is. Ah, they said, this is a great idea. They all agreed. How? Well, said one of the young men, I have a very nice canoe here, he said. You can paddle out. So they planned this. Oh, they were excited. I think we could go and find Gluaskabe. Because each one of them, like I said, had a wish that they wanted to come true. And they talked about themselves. What is it that you want to come true when you see Gluaskabe? Well, one warrior brother was a very short man. He was unhappy about that. He was always putting moss inside his moccasins so he could make himself a little taller and wear tall feathers in his hair to try and look taller than he was. He said, when I see Gluaskabe, I'm going to ask him to be tall. I want to be taller than any other man anywhere. Oh, they said, the other brothers, that's a good wish. What about you, they said to another warrior brother. What are you going to ask Gluaskabe when you see him? Well, he said, you know, I am tired of working so hard for what little I have. All day I work for these things, and still I have very little. I'm tired of that. When I see Gluaskabe, I'm going to ask him for wealth. I want to be rich. I want to be richer than any man who ever lived, and have all the things that a man could ever want. Oh, they said, that's a good wish. Hey, what about you, they said to the third warrior brother. Oh, he says, I do have a wish too, he said. You know, we are born, we grow up, and we die. Which is not good. I have a wish too, he said. When I see Gluaskabe, I'm going to ask him for eternal life. Wow, he said, what a great wish. Yes, he said, I want to live forever. Oh, he said, what a great wish. What about you, they said to the 4th brother. Now, this 4th brother was a quiet man. He wasn't saying much. He said, you know, it is true, he said, that I do have a wish that I want to come true too, he said. But I think I'll keep it to myself until I see Gluaskabe. Ah, as you wish, they said. Come on, let's go for our journey now. So they went to the shore, they pulled up the canoe, got into it, started paddling. Now, some of these warrior brothers, they had gifts that the Creator had given them. One of those brothers, oh, his eyesight was fantastic. He could see far away, further than any other man. He could see things way off in the distance that other people could not see. What a great gift. Another warrior brother, he had a song the Creator had given him. Now, this song that he had, when he sang that song, he could tame the worst storm. There could be a blizzard going on. He'd sing that song and the wind would die down and snow would fall. The sun would come out and shine. Even the wind. Oh, anything. Rain. He would sing that song and the rain and the clouds would part and the sun would come out. What a great gift he had. A third warrior brother, he had a song too that the Creator had given him. When he sang that song, he could tame the most wild beast. Any creature, ferocious, wolf or a bear. When he sang that song, that creature would lie down to sleep. Ah, what a great gift. But the quiet one, he was a hunter. He was a good hunter, but he had a special gift that the Creator had given him. As he continued on their journey, soon they lost sight of land. He paddled on, somewhere towards the middle of that lake, looking for that island. Soon they looked all around, they could see no land whatsoever. And then the wind began to blow. The waves began to rise, beat up against the canoe, they began to get tossed. The water started splashing into the canoe, and they were in danger of being swamped. They said to the warrior brother, "You know that song, sing your song, calm this wind." So the brother who knew the song began to sing his song. Hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 wait a second. The wind died down. And the lake became like glass. Continued the journey, looking for the night. Well, he paddled on and on and on and paddled for quite a while. Maybe there is no island, they said. Maybe it was just a story. Just as they were about to give up, the man who could see so far, he said, "Look, over there. Can you see that island? I think it's an island. Look, over there." They looked. But of course, only he could see it because he had the gift, had the great eyesight. So they paddled in that direction. And soon as they could see that there was indeed an island there. And like the story said, it was shrouded in a mist. As he approached closer, they could see, oh, it is a beautiful island. But the cliffs rose out of the water straight up, all around. They paddled this way, and they paddled that way, trying to find a place where they could beach their canoe, get onto the island. They couldn't. They said, there was only one place. There was two big cliffs that rose up like this. And you could see that the cliffs would part like that. They would part and open a channel. And then suddenly, bang, they would smash together like that again. They knew that if they tried to go through that, they would smash to pieces and killed. What can we do, they said. How are they going to get on the island? You look this way. Now the man who had the great eyesight, he noticed there was a little bird way up there in the cliffs. That bird would fly away from the cliffs, turn around, and would fly back. And as they got closer to those big cliffs that opened up, the cliffs would open up. The bird would fly through. Bang! Those cliffs would come back again like that. He looked at that for quite a while. He said, "You see that bird up there?" He looked. No. Well, that bird knows when those gates are going to open up. He says, "I have an idea. Do exactly what I tell you. When I see that bird heading towards those cliffs," he says, "I'm going to ask you to paddle straight for those cliffs. Are you ready?" So they got ready and they waited for him. He waited for quite a while, and suddenly that bird flew up. Turned around and started flying back. "Get ready," he said. And when that bird just about reached the cliffs, he said, "Paddle as hard as you can." And he did, and he paddled and dug their paddles into the water, straight for those cliffs. They reached them just as that bird got there. And he paddled right through it. And just in time, too, they got through, and boom, those cliffs came back together again, right behind them. Whew, that was close. But now the water's narrowed like this, the channel leading to the center of that island. They paddled in that direction. But then on each side, there's a platform like this on each side of this narrow channel. And there are two huge beasts. Some said they were giant panthers, great black beasts. Their teeth flashed in the sun, and their claws were like knives, and fire shot out of their eyes. They defended that channel. Well, they knew they couldn't go through there. They'd be torn to pieces and killed by those beasts. Ah, said the young brother. Let me try my song. And he began to sing his song. Hey, 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 he sang. He stopped and sat down. He stretched. He lay down, went to sleep. As he paddled between, the channel opened up like this, like a little lake inside that island. And there, a small island inside that island. There was a teepee they could see there, smoke. And knew this had to be where Gluaskabe lived. As they approached and reached their canoe there, you could see that there was an old man sitting in the fire in front of the teepee. He was smoking the pipe. And just as the legend said, that smoke rose up from his pipe and circled around his head and covered the island. The old man had long gray hair that hung down to the ground. When he saw the young man, he said, "Come, my sons," he said, "come, sit by the fire with me." They sat down. He took his pipe. He handed it to the first young man, and he took his puff from it. Passed it on to the next one. He took a puff. And so it went. Third and fourth brother, in a sign of welcome. And when they had smoked, the old man said, "My sons, I know why you have come. I'm going to go into my teepee," he said, "and I want you, one of you at a time, to come in and tell me what it is that is in your heart." And with that, he got up and walked in. Well, the brothers were excited. "Who's going to go first?" he said. Who was short, he said, "I'll go first." So he got up and went inside. He sat down in front of Gluaskabe. The old man looked at him and said, "What is your wish?" "I'm tired of being a short man," he said. "People make fun of me. I want to be an important man. I want to be tall. Taller than all the man that ever lived. That's what I would like, grandfather." "Very well," he said. He reached down, he took a medicine bag, just like this one. "In here is the medicine," he said, "that will grant you your wish. Take it," he said. "But do not open it until you get home. And when you're by yourself in your lodge, when you open that medicine bag, your wish will come true." "Thank you, grandfather," said the young man. He picked it up and left. When he came out, he said, "Well, what did he say? What did he say? Did he grant you your wish?" He said, "He gave me this medicine bag," he said. "Well, I'm next," said the young man who wanted to be rich. He got up and went inside and sat down in front of the old man. "Grandson," said, "what is your wish?" "Well," he said, "I'm tired of working so hard for what little I have. I want to be rich. I want to have belongings, more than any man has ever had, and never want for anything for as long as I live." He took another medicine bag and he gave it to him just like he had done the first young man. Told him the same thing. "Do not open that bag until you get home and you're by yourself. And when you open that, it will come true, whatever it is that you wish." Thank you, grandfather," he said. He left. Now, the third young man to come in was the one who wanted to live forever. He came and sat down in front of Gluaskabe. Gluaskabe asked him what he wanted. He said, "Grandfather, I want to live forever. I want eternal life." Well, said the grandfather, you have traveled hard and you have traveled long. Surely your wish will come true, he said. Take this medicine bag, but do not open it until you get home. The young man took it and left. Now it was just the young man that was left, the young man that was the hunter, who wanted to keep his wish to himself. He went and sat down for grandfather. Well, grandson, what is it that you wish? Said Gluaskabe. Well, he said, I'm a hunter. He said, my people depend on me for food, my family. Sometimes when there's very little game, people go out and hunt. They come back empty-handed. People go hungry. I want to be a great hunter, so that when I go out, I will always have food to share. Gluaskabe smiled at him. Good wish, he said. He took the medicine bag and gave it to him. Told him the same thing he had told before. And when he left, Gluaskabe came out and talked to us. Now, my grandsons, he said, travel back to your villages. And remember what I have told you. He said, you will have a safe journey. And bless them. They got in their canoe and he paddled back past the sleeping beasts, through the crashing gates and across the great waters. And in time they reached the shore where they had left. Oh, they were excited about getting back to their village so they could have their wishes come true. Each one of them touched their medicine bag and he said, let's go home. Now the young man who wanted riches, be wealthy, he had the furthest to go. The other warrior brother said, take my canoe. He said, I'll give it to you. He says, you have the furthest to go. Take the canoe and go home. The young man said, oh, already my wish is coming true. He said, I didn't have a canoe before. This is a very fine canoe indeed, he said. And he started paddling towards his village. Came to the river, and as he came around pretty close to his village, he began to get anxious about it. He said, why do I need to wait till I get home? I should open it now and fill my canoe. People will see me coming with all these riches. I'll be an important man. Now, what they make me? Make me a chief. He said, I'll open it now. So he opened his bag. And all these belongings began to come out of that bag. They began to fill his canoe. All the things of furs, everything that a man could ever want, it began to fill his canoe. His canoe got lower in the water. He tried to paddle to shore, but the current was too strong and the canoe too heavy. He tried to close the bag, but he couldn't. These things kept coming out. Finally, the canoe tipped over, and he couldn't swim. So he drowned. And all his belongings were swept down the river, the big waters. Nobody ever saw him again. Now the young man who wanted to live forever, he was hurrying through the woods too. He's hurrying on to his village, walking as fast as he could go, because he wanted to get home. But a strange thing happened as he walked through the forest. He began to get very paranoid. He said, what if a bear should leap out of the forest and attack me? What if I should slip and fall to my death down below there? And here in my hand I had the medicine for eternal life. As he came along the riverbank, just around from his village, he said, I'm going to open this now. Why do I have to wait? And he opened the bag. Whoosh! Instantly he was transformed into a huge boulder, big as that wall. That boulder, they say, is still there beside the river, all covered in green moss. People see that rock, they remind you of that young man who wanted to live forever. Because in a way, he got his wish. Now the young man who wanted to be tall, he too was hurrying to his village. Oh, he was just going through the forest. As he came over the hill overlooking his village, he said, I'm practically home. There's my village. I'm going to open this bag now. I'll be so tall. I'll walk in the village and all the pretty young ladies will come running and say, what a handsome, tall young man he is. Oh, I'll be an important man. They might not even recognize me. I'm going to open this now. And he opened the bag. Instantly he was transformed into a tall pine tree. You can say that pine tree is still there, taller than all the other trees growing along the ridge. It's all dead now and dry, but it's still there. And when people see that tall tree, they're reminded of that young man who wanted to be tall. Now, the fourth young man who wanted to be a good hunter, he did exactly what Gluaskabe had told him. He went home. When he reached his village and his people came out to see him, and he greeted them and his family, he told them about the journey they'd made and how Gluaskabe had given him this medicine, but to be a good hunter. And he wondered. When he went inside his teepee, he was all by himself. He said, now is the time to open his eyes. He opened it. Nothing happened. Huh! He said, he opened the bag and looked in, there was nothing in there. Perhaps Gluaskabe made a mistake. But a strange thing happened the next time he went hunting. As he walked through the forest, he could hear these voices. He could sense where the animals were. It was as if they were telling him about their habits, where they were when the clouds are low, when it's raining, or when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's winter. And he always found those animals, whether it be an elk or a deer, a bear, moose. And in time he became a great hunter. Every time he went out, he brought back food. When game was scarce and other hunters went out, came home empty-handed with no food, they would come to him because he was always had food to share. Even people from other villages came. He heard about this man, and his fame grew. And he lived to be a very, very old man. But even when he was old, with long gray hair like Gluaskabe, when he went out, he always brought back food. And as long as he lived, nobody ever went hungry. And he lived to be a very old man. When people saw that old man walking through the village, they said, truly, this man is blessed by Gluaskabe. And so ends the story.